As the focus remains on Nigeria's economy and ways to improve not just Nigeria's economic figures, but a better quality of life for the Nigerian people, we take a look at medium, small, and micro enterprises. The MSME space in Nigeria has been described as the core of Nigeria's economic base, its driving force. If we do not get it right here, the Tinubu administration is only grasping at straws, relying on palliatives that do not fix the core of our economic problems. My guest on the program gives us some perspective on the plans to shore up economic growth using MSMEs. And we'll get to that right after we update you on the major stories from Nigeria's presidency. This is Dateline Abuja. Hello and welcome to Dateline Abuja. I am Kayla Magwa. Let's begin with a rundown of the major stories this week from Nigeria's seat of power.
President Bola Tinubu has vowed that the gunmen who killed many people in communities in Plateau State will be apprehended and face severe punishment under the law. In a statement by his Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Nanuga, the President extended his condolences to the families of victims in Bokos local government, where the gunmen launched brutal attacks, resulting in the loss of lives and destruction of property. President Tinubu also commiserated with the government of Plateau State and Governor Caleb Mufwang, urging the affected communities to cooperate with the authorities and security agencies by volunteering information to catch the perpetrators and secure their communities. He assured Governor Mufwang of his support in ending this spate of wanton bloodletting on the plateau and directed the National Emergency Management Agency to work with state authorities to provide necessary support to the victims and bring immediate relief to the affected communities and those wounded during the attacks. President Bola Tinubu has assured officers and men of the nation's security agencies of his administration's full commitment to their welfare and well-being. The president, who was represented by Vice President Kashim Shettima at the 2025 National Police Day, hailed the spirit of patriotism and sacrifice of police officers whom he called the defenders of our democracy.
This day serves to highlight your invaluable service and to honor the officers who have made the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty. To their families, we extend our deepest condolences and our unwavering commitment to preserving their legacy. As President, I reaffirm this administration's steadfast dedication to the welfare and empowerment of the Nigeria Police Force. A secure Nigeria is vital for our collective prosperity.
Justice Binta Nyako of the Federal High Court in Abuja has barred parties in the suit filed by suspended Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan against the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, and 3 others from granting press interviews on issues relating to the case. Justice Nyako issued the order following complaint by the counsel to Akpabio, Kehinde Ogunwumiju, that the plaintiff was moving from one television house to another, granting press interviews on issues relating to her case, currently pending before the court. In a ruling, Justice Nyako said there would be no press interviews by all parties and their lawyers as regards the subject matter of the case. Justice Nyako also barred parties and their lawyers from engaging in streaming of proceedings in the case on social media. The President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, has strongly denied recent allegations by Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan of a plot to assassinate her, describing her claims as false, baseless, and a dangerous attempt to incite public unrest. As contained in a statement by the Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Honorable Eseme Ibo, the Senate President stated that the allegations are not only completely fabricated, malicious, and reckless, but part of a long-standing pattern of unsubstantiated and inflammatory claims made by Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan, including previous accusations of sexual harassment against Senator Akpabio. The statement also referenced a separate allegation made by former Senator Elijah Abo, who in a media interview on the 2nd of April resurrected claims that the Senate President manipulated the judiciary to remove him from office. Both incidents have been described as part of a coordinated smear campaign allegedly backed by undisclosed political interest desperately aimed at undermining the credibility of the Senate and its leadership. According to the statement, legal actions, including letters of demand seeking retractions, apologies, and compensation, are being prepared and underway to be served on both senators.
Welcome back. The Faith Foundation says Nigeria, as of 2025, has exceeded 44 million MSMEs. A more detailed breakdown was given in 2020, where the National Bureau of Statistics stated that Nigeria had approximately 39.7 million micro, small, and medium enterprises, with 39 million being micro enterprises and 670,447 being small and medium enterprises. The agricultural and wholesale or retail sectors accounted for the latest proportions of informal micro-enterprises operating in Nigeria in 2020, with wholesale MEs at approximately 12.8 million and the agricultural sector hitting 14.8 million. In terms of ownership, the 96.2% of MSMEs are sole proprietorships, while 3.3% were partnerships. Faith-based organizations 0.1% and others 0.4%. Unfortunately, a 2023 report by the National Bureau of Statistics found that 80% of small businesses do not survive beyond 5 years. This next report looks at the moves by the Tinubu administration to ensure the MSME sector thrives and increases the country's economic growth.
This meeting of the National Council of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, chaired by Vice President Kashim Shettima in February of this year, focused on strengthening the operations of MSMEs in the country. Currently, about 40 million MSMEs operate in Nigeria, many of which are small businesses struggling to stay afloat amidst rising costs of doing business and poor access to funding. This meeting is aimed at addressing the bottlenecks.
We unveiled the mandate for the MSME ecosystem, which is something themed around GROW. G-R-O-W. G stands for guidance, R stands for resources, O stands for opportunities, and W stands for workforce support. This is our theory for change for the MSME ecosystem. We believe with the right guidance, with the right resources, with the right opportunities, and the right workforce support, any nano business can metamorphose into a micro business, any micro business can turn into a small business, any small business can turn into a medium business. And Your Excellency, we trust you to know, Your Excellency, that we spoke to 5 million out of the 39 million small and medium enterprises in Nigeria. And we found out there are 8 sectors that our small businesses are starting businesses at a faster rate. And they happen to be in agriculture, in food and textile, in hospitality, in manufacturing, in education, in digital media, in services, and innovation.
Vice President Kashim Shettima is optimistic of the huge contribution the MSME sector can make to the economic development of a country, as he reiterates President Bola Tinubu's administration's support for MSMEs.
With carefully crafted plan of action, we can really reposition the Nigerian economy, diversify our takings, and provide jobs for millions of people. We are not a poor nation by any standard. There are certain parts of this country that if money can grow, the land is so fertile, it's a moral burden on all of us here to make this country work. It goes beyond politics. If this country works, the black man works.
The council during the meeting set up a committee to interface with the Central Bank of Nigeria to enhance the financing of small businesses in the country, headed by the Minister of State for Industry, Trade and Investment, Mr. John Eno. It also approved a loan scheme for MSMEs known as the Syndicated De-Risked Loan for Small Businesses, a partnership between state governments and financial institutions aimed at enhancing access to finance for MSMEs at single-digit rates across the country. These measures are expected to enhance the operations of MSMEs, according to stakeholders attending the meeting.
What we have looked at is the problems that they are facing, and I think we have started discussion on the very first one, which is access to capital, and on the basis of which we have been saddled with some responsibility to look at robust strategy around which we can support the medium, small, and micro enterprises to be able to have access to capital that is affordable, and not to allow them to have a short run. They should have some length within which even repayment can be done. And I think of importance here is the fact that in the course of presentation, we also got to know that the current facility that is being extended to the medium, micro, and small enterprises, I think the women are doing extremely well in terms of repayment. And I think this is a very important component because the 8-point agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu talks about inclusivity. And so when the gender aspect is giving us this kind of performance, then you can imagine how happy we will be, because the gender component is proving that when supported, they can actually contribute very well to the economic fortune of this country.
Well, we're very confident that at the end of this year, 2025, we will have begun a journey to ensuring that Nigerian small businesses actually they fare in the same vein as businesses, as countries, neighboring countries, or countries anywhere in the world. We want to ensure that doing business in Nigeria becomes the grand norm. Doing business in Nigeria, we want to ensure that it becomes, you wake up in the morning, you brush your teeth, you do any other thing you need to do. So doing business in Nigeria should not be a headache to anyone. So all the little bottlenecks, we want to start eliminating them bit by bit.
A month after, the federal government announced plans to reward innovative and resilient entrepreneurs that excelled in their endeavors with monetary incentives. In a media briefing in Abuja by the Senior Special Assistant on Job Creation and MSMEs, Temitola Johnson says the event will mark another initiative by the current administration to promote and reward the activities of small-scale businesses. The SSA restates President Tinubu's commitment to better the lives of business owners in the country.
We want to change the life of some of these SMEs. We want to, the promise is that let some people say that it is under XYZ government. It is under President Tinubu's government. It is during this MSME award, the 6th award, the 7th award, or that award, that I moved from renting to owning my own store. The truth is that the overall MSME of the year is going on with a total value of 220 million naira. That's the honest truth. Because we know how much, we know the value of the car, we know the value of the shop, we know the value of the house. So one individual, we are hoping that we change the life of an individual with that total sum. The portal is meant to open on the 7th of March, 2025. So that's on Friday. This Friday, the portal opens on that day, and it runs all through till the 7th of April, 2025. So that's the key thing for MSMEs. Another thing I would like to say about this year's awards that is unique is that we have considered businesses run by people living with disability, and we've now created a category for that, for people living with disability as well, because like the saying goes that there's also ability in disability. So basically, this year will be the inaugural category for people living with disability, and they will have an opportunity to also compete for all the numerous prizes as every other able body.
The federal government is assuring that it will continue to provide guidance, resources, opportunities, and the workforce to support MSMEs in the country.
My guest on the program is Mr. Temitola Johnson, the Special Advisor to the President on Job Creation and MSMEs, Office of the Vice President. Mr. Tola Johnson, welcome again to Dateline Abuja.
Thank you, Kela.
It's been a while. Congratulations on your new position. It's a new position, but it's a job that you've been doing for quite a while. Yes. You've been in this MSME space, so congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So let's talk about the work that the Tinubu administration is doing with MSMEs. The figures, when we look at our economy, many people keep talking about the fact that, look, these figures look like they are growing. They keep saying we're out of this problem, we're out of that. But in the pocket of the businessman, he's losing more. So talk to us a bit about that dynamic and what the Tinubu administration is doing to shore up the impact that MSMEs can have on this economy.
What we have done as a nation is to say, you know what, when the government came into power in 2023, very quickly approved some grants and loans, single-digit loans for small businesses. Those loans have been exhausted. The grants have been given out. Now, what is now done again, or what the government is doing again, is to be very deliberate about creating a sustainable, enabling environment for small businesses to thrive. And if you recall, only, I don't know, less than a year ago, the president moved the special advisor on ease of doing business, Dr. Jumoke Oduwole, because of the good job she's done. In the past 9 years, moved her to be the Minister for Trade and Investment, because it's very deliberate about creating a sustainable, lasting environment for small businesses to thrive in the country and even outside if you so aspire to, basically. So one of the good things, one of the major things we want to do this year, you mentioned the African MSME Forum. Now, this is a forum usually organized by the African Union. So we had gone for the 3rd edition.
Okay.
Sometime last year, it was we had gone for the 3rd edition, and we looked at what they were doing, and we said to ourselves that we can bid for this and do something like this. I mean, this is Nigeria. We are Nigerians. We can do whatever it is that we see that is being done that is very good. With our Nigerian touch and our zeal, we can make it better. And then we put in a bid and said to them that we would like to organize the next edition. That bid was successful, so we are going to we'll be hosting the next edition. We'll be partnering the Trade and Investment Ministry to host the next edition in Nigeria. It's going to be from the 23rd to the 26th, and this is what will now climax into the MSME Awards on June 27th. June 27th. Okay. So it's June 23rd to 26th. Okay. Then the MSME Awards is June 27th.
Okay.
The MSME Awards, now that I'm there, this year will be, I don't know if to say we are going to be going a step higher or a lot of steps higher. We'll be giving out close to 107. We'll be giving out close to 750 million in prize money. The MSME of the year in this particular awards alone, we go on with a car, a shop, and money. A car, a shop, money. One person, and a house. So that's the MSME of the year. That person will become a homeowner. You will own your own shop.
In Abuja?
Yes.
Ooh.
Even if you don't live in Abuja, the fact that you own a house in the federal capital is a big deal. Even if you don't do business in Abuja, the fact that you own your own shop, store, is a big deal. Then we'll be giving you cash price. Then you will have your own car. I mean, will impact in 4 phases of your life. Then the other MSMEs will be going on with cars. Some will go on with just the shops. Some will go on with just money. It depends on the category you're in. But cumulatively, they'll be going on with about, in prize money, closer to 800 than 750. Now, there's something new that Mr. President has encouraged us to do. There are small businesses or medium businesses that have sustained jobs for a long time, despite the hardships, despite even these businesses even beat the law of COVID. I call it the law of COVID because that COVID sort of affected everything all over the world. They were able to sustain jobs. We are going to, this year, be giving out awards to about 5 different private sector individuals that have sustained their sustain the jobs that they have and even grown these jobs in the past 5 to 10 years. You know, this is a token from government just to say, listen, I mean, we might not be giving you money, but we see what you're doing, and it is in recognition to what you're doing that we're giving you these awards.
I'm looking at your office and all of these things that you want to do. And I really do have to ask you, when you listen to the criticisms of the Tinubu administration, especially when it comes to the economy, everyone blames the president. That's the truth. And I think he understands that because he always says, the buck stops at my table. I'm doing what I can. I'm doing my best. You just have to believe in me and we can get to El Dorado together. That pressure on you and other people in that economic team that's supposed to shore up these economic figures and ensure a better quality of life for the Nigerian people. How are you and the rest of the people in the economic team of the president handling that pressure and the criticisms that you get from the Nigerian people when it comes to economic growth?
Okay, first, you must understand that being in any of these positions, even a PA, whatever it is, by Mr. President, Mr. Vice President, is a privilege. It's nobody's birthright. Nobody was born an SA, a PA, or whatever. And the fact that the president and the vice president were the only ones elected, every one of us are privileged to be where we are with them. So, also understand that the citizens have the right to those complaints. Because imagine if I was not sitting here as an advisor to the president, and I'm on the other side as a citizen. I was once on the other side. I was once a business owner. I ran my business and I knew and I understood how cumbersome it can be to run business in Nigeria. This is a government that allows you to just voice out your thoughts. You know, voice out your thoughts. Nigeria, see, everybody should come to the table, you know, because the table right here is Nigeria. And then come to the table with whatever you've got. If you come to the table and there's no seat, grab your own seat or bring your own seat from there. Just be around.
Find a place.
Just find a place.
Find a place and put yourself.
Put yourself. Just ensure that. Because, listen, we're all Nigerians, basically speaking, and all of us cannot be in government.
That's such a message really for the people who have given up. You know, a lot of people have they've
I
thrown in the towel. They don't even want to hear about it anymore. Because things have been so hard for them.
For those that have given up, listen, I'm a living testimony. Maybe I should quickly run a bit of my past life. I used to run shawarma stands. And shawarma stands...
Shawarma stands?
Yes. And shawarma stands then were something that was all over the place. It was a business that virtually you see everywhere. So I developed a different idea of running mine. I was in different churches and lounges and running my own thing, basically. From there, I now own a bottling plant. I started doing bottled water. I met people in government. They wanted to run a campaign. I was giving them water. They won. 6 months down the line, they called me to come and be a part of their government. I thought of you for about 6 months. Then I'm here. So, truth be told, whatever it is that you have in your hands, I know that it can be tough, but we are trying our utmost best to ensure that doing business in Nigeria becomes as seamless as possible for every SME. I don't want a situation where you must know somebody that knows somebody for your business to survive. You want to create a system. You must create a system. It's very important because with a system, you can be anywhere in the world and run your business. You must create a system that works from CSC to SMEDAN to ITF to the banks. It must be seamless.
Before we go, is there a website for business owners? Because that was such an inspiring story. For business owners right now, is there a website they can go to so that they can know what interventions the Tinubu administration has for them in the MSME space?
Yeah, so I would encourage most Nigerians or most SMEs to go, for instance, if they are looking for grants or loans, to the Bank of Industry websites. SMEDAN's websites. So SMEDAN, being the agency for small businesses, are the ones that will usually push out a lot of those schemes, basically.
I want to thank you very much, Mr. Tola Johnson, for all the work that you do. Thank you for being with us on Dateline Abuja, and good luck with all you have ahead of you.
Thank you, Kela. Thank you very much.
Thanks to my guest and to everyone who spoke to us today on the program. If you are in the MSME space, the federal government says there's hope and they are mindful of your plight. So please Stay informed on interventions and plans for hubs that you could benefit from. Remember to let us know the happenings in your neighborhood using the social media handles showing right now on your screens. Thank you so much for watching. I am Kayla Magwa. See you next time.